3, 2, 1, Bungee!
Whatever he spends, regardless if that product is positive or negative, it's a success or a failure, he knows that he can remake that money again, no problem. Hey, what's going on with it, guys? You know what it is. Angelo here from Active Lifestyle, and my adrenaline is off the roofs. You may ask why. Well, that's the reason I'm gonna tell you. We just did a bungee jumping, jumped off 3 times, did a forward jump, did a backward jump, and then a front flip. If you guys happen to give a fuck, check that thing out, check the vlog out. It's pretty sick, it's pretty dope. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is having an abundance mentality, an abundance mindset. How to switch your mind around from being in scarcity mode. Most of us, most young men, or most people at my age, in the range of 20 to 25 to 30, even people at 40 years old, they have the scarcity mindset. You have to remember that you have to have a mindset of an abundance. What does that mean? You have to have a mindset of an abundance. Alright, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So when you're coming at it from a mindset of abundance, that means A, you realize that the universe, there's an infinite amount of whatever it may be. Okay? So I'm gonna give you guys an example regarding business. So they once asked a successful business owner, hey, we need to spend X amount of dollars to travel, to shoot videos, to spend money on this, on products, on food, to create this product. A successful business owner, what they said, okay, let's do it. Why not? Because he knows this already. He knows the principle that by spending money, he's not losing money. He doesn't have to save it because he knows that once he spends it, he can make it again. Whatever he spends, regardless if that product is positive or negative, it's a success or a failure, he knows that he can remake that money again, no problem. Now, what happens when you ask a business owner that is possibly successful but has a scarcity mindset? They'll say, no, we can't do it. We already made X amount of dollars from last month. We need to save this money just in case a bad thing happens. If a bad thing happens, then we have to have the money for ourselves, because if we don't, then we'll run out of business, right? So that's scarcity mindset. And another thing, another practical example for my non-business people, a life example, whether you're in a friendship, a relationship, whatever it may be. So, for an example, in a friendship, so when you first meet that person, you feel great, you're in an abundant mindset. Okay, you have to remember that you're bringing them value. You have to also remember that they're giving you value. You're both pumping vibes to each other that you obviously appreciate from one another, so that's why you decide to do it. But what happens when you decide, no, never mind, you know what, over time, like I did a cannonball down there, that's pretty cool. But anyways, what happens when over time you realize, hey, maybe this person isn't really, what I thought it was when we first started, or maybe I grew as a person and he grew as a person. So the value isn't being given anymore. So it's cool, like that's part of life, just like how this river puts you down the rocks and these people go in different directions and the planes go, and everybody goes in different directions. That's completely fine, completely normal. You have to remember that at a certain point in time, that was great, positive vibes were being given, but now it's no longer there. Okay? So you have to remember that you're never the joker in your story, in your mind. Because remember, if you think that you're the joker in your mind, you're always going to feel like you're taking value from people. Whenever you go into a group, you're not going to feel full, you're not going to feel ready, you're not feel like you're going to give value. You're going to feel like, I'm the little joker, I'm going to take value from these people, they're not going to know, I'm going to be eating their food, I'm going to take their vibes. No, you have to remember that you are the king to your story. You're going to come in, you're going to be like, hey, what's up? Positive vibes. You're gonna ride that wave as long as it can go. If it lasts a lifetime, if it lasts a week, if it lasts a month, great. Whatever it took, take the positive, take the energy, build it as your character, build that abundance mindset, switch it from scarcity, from being that little joker that takes people's stuff. No, you're that king in your story. You're the king that pushes these great vibes to your people. Also in a relationship aspect as well. So a lot of people go into the relationship full and the person is full, right? So once they get together, they start losing that. They start connecting, which is great. You should always connect with your significant other. But you have to remember that you are your own person, they're their own person, and you guys have to mingle within each other and mix it together. And if it works, positive, great. If it doesn't, don't be afraid to let it go. Don't be scarce. Don't be like, oh, I can't lose this person, because if I lose this person, I can't find another person. No, that's not how it's gonna go down, because you already met somebody at that level. So for you to not be able to hit that level, to feel like you're a joker, having to reach up to that person is not the case. You at one point were able to get somebody at that stature, and maybe even higher stature if that were to not work out. Of course, when you met a person in that relationship, you probably weren't at that level, that you are at now, you might be at a lower if the relationship was toxic and negative, but you might be at a higher if the relationship was positive and great. It doesn't always have to end bad, you know? So bringing it back to the friendship thing as well. So when you meet your friends, you have positive vibes, you're great, you feel amazing, you feel like these are the people you want to just do everything with. You feel like these are the guys, these are the girls, these are the people, like your family. Over time, if you lose that spark, remember, you're not the joker taking value from them. You're the king. You're the king that goes in there and gives that positive vibe. And then also with the money thing, guys, this is actually a great example because bringing it back to actually one of the buddies of mine that I had. I don't know if you guys might know this or not, but I went on a 5-day SoCal trip with one of my buddies of mine, and we had a great time, great vibes, and we had a third buddy that was supposed to come with us. But what happened with this guy? On the last day, he put so many excuses to us, and we decided, hey man, you know what, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go, no worries. But it seemed like he wanted to go, but he took it back. He kept on having that scarcity mindset, seeing like, I don't have the money for it, I don't feel like I can go, I feel like if I go, it won't be worth it. But you know, if he would have gone, he would have enjoyed himself, he would have loved it, he would have been like, hey, that's a great memory with my friends, that's a lifetime story I can tell to my children, to my grandchildren, that's crazy, that's fun. But he didn't decide to do that, so he lost that, you know? He lost that chance to live that life, and what did he do? He continued on his normal path, which is great. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying though that if you're really willing to grow as a person, you have to understand you have to take the road less traveled. I know it sounds cliche, but it really is how you're gonna start these new experiences and new adventures. I feel like I'm ranting now, but it's all good. Okay, so alright guys, so now we're back. Excuse the wind, it did get a little windier, but I did want to show you guys like the great panoramic view. I always like to get the best shots, you know, for the eyes, for you to see the background. It looks really nice and everything. So yeah, so just to reiterate some topics on here, guys, you have to remember, coming from the mindset of abundance, not the mindset of scarcity. You have an abundant mindset, you have goals that you want to achieve. Let's say you don't have money, where you can give positive vibes to the people around you. Never be the guy leeching off that energy, guys. Always try to be the guy that comes into the room and people are happy to see you, because they know that when you come in, you might not be the party guy. You might be the loud guy. You might be the quiet person, which is totally good. But as long as you're not leeching any positive energy, guys, and you're just contributing to the whole atmosphere around you, I promise you guys that you guys are gonna feel a lot better. You guys are gonna feel like you guys are growing. You guys are gonna actually see like a big change. If you guys happen to watch this whole video, I start picking out people, how they act and how they start to, you know, when they're in situations and how they become. And if you're the person, you know, who's leeching off that positive energy off of people, you know, just try to make that switch. And if you start noticing those people, you might want to cut them off, or you might be like, hey man, I think maybe you should, you know, just be a little more positive, be more fun, you know. And if they're not changing, if they're not into it, hey, remember, abundance. There's an infinite amount of people, infinite amount of friends, women, girls, guys, whatever you may be, infinite amount of money, and there's infinite amount of fun. If something is not, you know, your cup of tea and you're not having that much fun, you can always go to another situation. And that's the crazy thing, because you're the king to your own story. And you have to remember, if you're the king to your own story, what can you do? You wake up every single day and start a new chapter however you want to start it. You don't have to be in the same social friends group that you've been in the past year, 10 years. You really don't. You can change, you could grow, and it's amazing, guys. It's eye-opening. You don't want to wake up when you're 60 or 70 and wake up with regret and pissed off at life for the chance that you didn't take. Jumped off the bungee jump 3 times. Most people did it 1 time. Like, I was the first one to jump off. When they asked, who was the one who wants to jump? Raise my hand, like a straight champ, you know, because that's what you have to come in. This is safe, this is fun, this is how crazy, this is what we live for. This is what active lifestyle is all about. Alright guys, I really appreciate everyone for watching this. If you guys like this, I got dozens more videos coming out with topics like this. So make sure you leave that like, turn on that notification, make sure you tell your friends about the kid, make sure you tell your family about the kid, make sure you leave a like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe, dab on it for the one time. We're going to keep exploring these mountains out here in Los Angeles National Forest. Thank you.